What makes you think that I'm an answer if you ain't mine? Even if you call me up 100 times.
This is just your friendly reminder that we are at war. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are at war, and I'm talking about, it ain't just a video game community, but it is the gaming community right now. I know a lot of people think that they can, just put their heads down, and this is for the people who are terminally online. And to some degree, you're right. I grant you that. But you must see how this stuff affects you on a daily basis. If you got kids, they likely play video games. Right? If you got a brother, they likely play video games. This is not something that we can just hide from. You know what I'm saying? God damn. It's not something we can really hide from. It's important that we acknowledge this and take it head on. And so when it comes to Sweet Baby Inc. and the media, here's another act of war. So before we get into it, I just got to let y'all know that we are currently sitting at 7,795 subscribers. We have an opportunity to get to 8,000 by next Monday. We can see if we can make that happen. Let's make it happen. So keep hitting the like button, keep subscribing, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll keep growing and making it happen. By the way, follow me on Twitter, because that's going to be the best place to reach me now that the Discord is behind Patreon for the people who want to watch movies and TV shows and everything else in between on the weekend with us. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. So this is a journalist who is trying to claim that the Sweet Baby Inc. situation is only 10,000 people. Okay. Last I checked, there were the Gamergate situation is only 10,000 people, but last I checked, that Steam account had 300,000 people in it. And keep in mind that most people are console owners, so there's a lot of gamers out here that don't have PCs that are not on Steam. Okay, just letting that sit out there. Additionally, they're trying to write a hit piece on gamers, and for some odd reason, they have this weird expectation that gamers are supposed to participate in the hit pieces that they're making about them. So Grums, shout out to Grums again. He's been all over this. Journalists tried to claim Gamergate 1 was only 10,000 gamers and no real impact. They are trying this again, except Sweet Baby Inc. detected has 300,000 verified Steam accounts. They are desperate to downplay it. And you can see this was an article written by The Verge. The return of Gamergate is smaller and sadder. Sure, we'll see how many of your games flopped and how many people have to get fired for your cause for you to recognize that this is actually bigger than what you thought. This person says, I interviewed her. Her editors told her that given an accurate timeline may make it seem as if their outlet is implying the backlash was to some extent deserved, a stance they want to avoid. So basically, the timeline is Chris Kindred. All right. Well, the timeline is this. For those of you who just need to be caught up, you don't know what's going on. You don't know who Sweet Baby Inc. is. You don't know who this writer is. You don't know what all of the fuss is about. Basically, it's this. A series of games over the last few years have been trashed, and people have been trying to figure out why. If you look at the story, there's been a lot of narrative driven things that haven't really made sense. Prime example, a game based on Norse mythology, God of War Ragnarok, randomly putting a black girl in it. And there's been a bunch of other narrative gaming decisions that just don't make sense. But gamers have, for the most part, have just not been able to connect all of the dots. Well, recently, with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, there was a parallel that everybody's been able to kind of put together, and the parallel was Sweet Baby Inc. So if you look at Sweet Baby Inc. worked on Suicide Squad, and then you can go back and look at a couple of other games that they work on. And so this guy named Cabrutus started this curator group on Steam called Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, where he basically just pointed out every single game that Sweet Baby Inc. Worked on. And this freaking moron named Chris Kendrick, a
tranny demons,
basically came out and ordered for them to get shut down, and it backfired on them. And so that's where we are. All right, that's where we are. So this Verge writer here. This person says, I hear you. I understand this is where we part, ideologically at least. I'll share the conversation I had with my editors about this because in preparation for my piece, I struggled with this particular bit, and the conversation I had really helped me understand. Cabrutus and his ilk have a grievance against Sweet Baby Inc. that is rooted in racism and misogyny and has no basis in the reality of how video game development works. That's it, period. They go, and when you get to the nitty gritty of who did of who did what when, you get into the of who did what when, not obviously the who's and what's are the necessary to explain it. That central premise gets lost. And me personally, I have to remember what my piece is ultimately about. And it's not about providing a timeline of events. It's bigger than that. It's about explaining that the reason you're hearing about this company called Sweet Baby and Gamergate 2.0 getting thrown around is because there's a group of people who decided they hate woke video games and found a convenient scapegoat to target in a larger conspiracy to underpin it. And so ultimately, it's the same old tropes that we talk about: the racism, the sexism, the misogyny. And ultimately, like I've told y'all before, there's no reasoning with these people. There's none of it. There's no conversation to be had. I've even fallen victim to the idea that we can have a conversation and try to debate these people. But what I'm realizing is you can't, because they don't want to have a conversation with you. Like, think about it, right? All these big channels, the Nerdrotics, the not just Nerdrotic, the Airy Julys, the just anybody. Why don't you see more of these people who believe what they believe in journalism and gaming development come and try to have conversation? Like, why would you not try to come and have conversation with the people you're trying to sell your product to? It's because they don't want to have a conversation. They don't like you. They actually hate you. They wish that you would die to make room for the people they actually want their audience to be. And quite frankly, they know in a debate or a conversation with you, they would get fucking owned. All right, that's just the truth of the matter. That's just the truth. Their arguments cannot stand up in the face of actual scrutiny. They can't. Oh, you're racist. Well, what about all of these black characters and these Hispanic characters and these other characters in all of these video games that we've enjoyed and never had a problem with? They can't say anything. What is their response to that? Like, ask yourself, think to yourself, when you ask a person like this, what is going to be their response to that? They don't know, so they don't engage. What about misogyny? But what about all of these female characters that we've loved without consequence for all of these years? Do they just not matter? What would be their response to that? They don't know, so they don't engage. Every time, especially on Twitter, when you get into it with one of these bot accounts that's from their side, and you ask them legitimate questions, guess what you never get? A response. You never get it. You're more likely to get the block button. But hey, what do I know? Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. It's for you. I have overhauled my Patreon. That's right. I finally figured out what we're going to do with it. We're going to be watching the latest movies, TV shows, and animation together as a community. Yeah, that's right. My live reaction, discussion, predictions, all in the Discord chat together, okay? You don't feel like paying for any of these subscriptions for the latest TV shows and movies that you want to watch? That's cool. Just watch it with me. You know what I mean? It'd be like watching it at my house, except on a computer screen. Now, the standard membership is going to allow you to get into the Discord, have access to the chat, and we'll watch everything together. Pretty standard, right? The advanced membership is going to actually give you the ability to be able to come on mic and have discussion with us as we're having a discussion period for whatever it is that we're watching, right? You don't have to come on camera if you don't want to, but it's an option for you. Additionally, you're going to have direct input on the things that we watch. It could be some of the newest stuff. It could be old movies and shows that you want to see my reaction to, or you just want to get my opinion on. Yeah, we're going to do that. And one final thing, for the people who have rocked out with me since the beginning, this is for you. If you're already in the Discord, you already in there for free, baby. So go ahead, click on the link below,